Hi, and welcome to the training screencast for the NMSI Mentoring Program. In this screencast, I'm going to outline the resources we have produced to support you as mentors and the reporting structures we have in place to track your mentoring relationship. Let's start by looking at the vision for our mentoring program. Basically, we believe that if we can match a new AP teacher with a strong, reputable AP teacher, that the mentor can help them in many ways, but primarily by helping accelerate the learning curve for what works and doesn't work with kids. A mentor can share things they've learned along their teaching journey and hopefully help new AP teachers see success without having to go through as much trial and error. Our first order of business is to locate the resources that you have available to you as a mentor. All of the resources that you need are located in the Mentoring Support and Resources area of your AP Lounge course. All of the AP Lounge courses are set up the same way, that have this area for you to go to for your resources. You can get to it from the left navigation pane once you've gone into your AP Lounge course. I'm going to start by going over the resources, and then we'll come back to the NMSI Groups later. So in your Mentoring and Support and Resources area, you'll find all the documents that you need to get started with mentoring. The very first place you should go is the mentoring checklist. This mentoring checklist will guide you through the mentoring year, help you identify what you need to be talking about and doing each month of the year. And it would also be a good idea for you to go ahead and review the mentor expectations and the mentee expectations document. You received these and the mentees received these back early when you signed up to be a mentor. This was part of the stuff that came in the email when you registered. There are two documents that you're going to be asked to upload to NMSI during the first month or so of your mentoring partnership. The first of those is a mentoring agreement. And this is just in place to let us confirm that your relationship is up and running, that you've made contact, you're talking to your mentee, and that you've set up some sort of regular structure for when and how you're going to communicate with each other. Remember that email is okay for weekly check-ins, but at least once a month you need to probably schedule, or you definitely need to schedule, a more extensive virtual working session in a space where you can see each other. We know that it's important that there be that face-to-face kind of feel, that when that happens, there's a better buy-in for the relationship, and it just seems to work better. So we're going to ask that you once a month get on a Skype or Blackboard Collaborate or Google Hangouts or whatever your favorite platform is for a virtual working space, but that you actually sit down with each other, have a conversation, and work through some things. We have set up a Blackboard Collaborate, which is a virtual meeting room for you in your NMSI mentor groups, and I'll show you that link at the very end. One of the key components to successful mentoring programs is that there be a goal, there be a purpose for the meeting, there be something that you are collectively working towards. Having goals for the relationship helps create a sense of purpose. It helps both parties have a responsible piece of the relationship, and it allows for us to, and you, to measure the progress of the relationship over time. So to assist with the goal setting conversations, we've created several resource documents for you to use. Again, these are all located in the mentoring resources area of your lounge course. The first one that I would direct you to is the Mentee Self-Reflection on Teacher Practice. This is designed for the mentee to complete, although you as the mentor can kind of help talk them through that, or that can be part of your conversations. But it asks them to kind of reflect on a couple of bite-sized practices that they can focus on for the year. There's so many things going on in an AP teacher's life, especially these new to the AP program teachers. We want to try to just focus them down to a couple of bite-sized actions and goals that they can set for themselves for the year that you can help with. Looking at the NMSI Core Teaching Practices document, that document has a list of what we have identified as core practices for AP teachers. And those are also covered and aligned with the concepts and practices that we talk about in our NMSI trainings in the summer and in the fall and in the spring. So using that reference list in addition to the reflection tool can kind of help focus on what some of those goals can and should look like. And if you've never had to write SMART goals before, we have a little SMART goal writing tips sheet that kind of outlines the steps of that goal writing process and gives some examples of what that might look like in a mentoring kind of relationship. And then the last document is just a Word file for the mentees to record their goals, and then that goal document will be uploaded to NMSI so that we have that on file. So what should you and your mentee focus on when you're talking and when you're meeting? If you've never been a mentor for us before, you may be wondering kind of exactly what you're supposed to do with your mentee after you have gotten started. We want this relationship to be more than just a, hey, how's it going? Do you need anything? We want this relationship to really become solid so that the mentors can really guide and help the mentees more than just kind of being a, hey, good buddy, do you have any good stuff I can use for this? So to that end, we've created a list of essential conversation topics to kind of help you focus your time together. Over the course of the year, you should make deliberate time to have each of these conversations with your mentee. You don't have to do them all in one sitting. You can spread them out over the year. But we think that those are essential conversations that we want our mentors to have with our mentees so that they can build the NMSI program, build growth in the program, support the AP teacher, and have opportunities to share and improve teaching practice. In addition, if you're new to the mentoring program and you just kind of need some help on how to structure those conversations, we have a totally optional mentoring conversation note template that you can use to just sort of set up the rhythm of your meetings when you interact with your mentees. Again, completely optional, but just to give you some guidance on how that conversation might feel or how that conversation might look. All right, so now let's move on to documentation and reporting structures. We're going to use two different platforms that NMSI will use to collect information from mentors and mentees. On this page, the blue hyperlinks are web forms that we've created to quickly capture and track responses and help us keep organized on our end for the hundreds of mentors and mentees that we have out there. These links are always accessible in your Lounge course. You can click on them anytime you need to use them. Obviously, the one for the mentoring document upload, that would be the form that you can use to submit your mentoring agreement. And when your mentee has completed their goals, that's the document upload form that they can use to document that. The mentoring support link here, this is what we're using as our makeshift ticketing system to deal with mentors or mentees that just need something from us at NMSI. So if you have any questions or issues or you need intervention or you need to ask us something, please use that mentoring support form because it collects all of the responses, puts them in a spreadsheet, and allows us to assign them to the right person so that it can expedite the responses and get the action going. The other links on this page, the ones that are in black, you'll notice are not active hyperlinks. Those are going to come from a different platform. They're going to come from our Qualtrics survey platform, and they allow us to collect different kinds of data that we can do a more sophisticated analysis with. Those links will come via email, so be on the lookout for them. All right, again, over the course of the year, you're going to get these emails from NMSI that contain links to personalized reporting forms. These are going to come from a NMSI email address, and they're going to contain a link to a form that's pre-populated with your information. So that's one of the benefits of using this Qualtrics platform is that we can go ahead and upload mentor names, mentee names, and we can create pre-populated forms for you to complete. Sometime in early September, you're going to receive a link to the mentor interaction form. You're only going to get this link once in September, so please make sure you save it, bookmark it, copy it, put it somewhere you can easily find it, because you're going to use that same link to report out on each meeting that you have with each mentee. At mid-year, probably January and maybe again in May, or definitely again in May, you will receive a second link that's more of a survey kind of feel, and it's going to ask you to report on progress with mentees and to give us a little bit of different information. So again, that link will come to you in January and then again in May, and those are both going to be required submissions of you as a mentor. All right, so let me take you a little bit closer in for that mentor interaction form. Remember that this is designed to be a very, very quick documentation on your interactions with your mentee. The beauty, like I said, of having a personalized link is that you're going to have a drop-down list and it's going to be populated with your teacher's names. So you can select that teacher's name and then continue to complete the report for your interaction with that teacher. It's only required that you complete this for your live meetings with your mentee. So you don't need to do this every time you have an email or text conversation with them. This is for that face-to-face working session kind of meeting that you're going to have. And you should have that at least once a month, although we would encourage you to do that more frequently. The data that we collect from this report is going to be used by our program managers when they check in with the district administrators monthly. It's going to collect just some basic information that we can report back to the administrators on, that yes, the teachers are engaging with their mentor, and that these are the kinds of conversations that they're having. So the first step is going to be to select your teacher's name and the date that you had an interaction with them. And then after selecting that, you have a list that corresponds to those essential conversations, and you're just going to click on whichever of those topics you talked about during that interaction. Again, you don't have to do all of these every time, but over the course of the year, you should have done all of these at least once. And then you have just two quick little fields to fill in. What are you going to do between the next meeting, and what is your mentee going to do before the next meeting? Again, these are just kind of quick statements that allow us to know that the conversations are progressing and that people are taking action as a result of those meetings. All right, and so to the end, as I mentioned earlier, you have a specific group within the lounge where the mentor and the mentee have both been populated or added to that group. And within that group, you have your very own virtual meeting room. So the Blackboard meeting room is called Collaborate. That's the name of that meeting platform. And so this group collaboration link that's in your mentor group or in your NMSI group will take you to a virtual meeting space where the two of you can meet face-to-face. You can share documents. You have a whiteboard that you can scratch out things on. So we would encourage you to use that as a meeting platform. Again, you don't have to use that. You can use Google Hangouts, Skype, web forms, or web access, whatever you have that you'd like to use. But we provide this for you so that you will always have some way that you can meet face-to-face. And then you also have these tools here with the file exchange. You can exchange files, kind of gives you a place to drop files back and forth. Group discussion boards, group tasks, you probably won't necessarily use that, and sending email would send an email to everybody in that group. All right, so that was a quick overview of what you as a mentor have available to you, the supports, the resources, as well as the required documentation. Again, if you have any request or any need of help, please use our mentoring support request form at bit.ly/mentsupport, or you can always reach out to us via email, but keep in mind we're probably going to direct you back to the form because that helps us keep track of things and issues that are coming in and be able to route them and deal with them efficiently. I wish you good luck with your mentoring relationship, and again, if you have any questions or any issues, please do not hesitate to contact us.